Hey, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Did you hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France?
Oh dear, a cheese factory exploded in France?
Yeah, there was debris everywhere.
Oh!
We don't have it yet. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Don't Have It Yet. Today is March 31st, 2026, and you may hear some maybe familiar noises in the background. I'm
Fun
recording today.
noises.
Yeah, I'm recording today from Capital Pinball down in Concord, New Hampshire.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think we got a fun show today. What do you think, Nick?
I think anything where you're recording from a pinball place is a good.
You're not wrong. So this week we got some fun stuff, I guess. We're going to talk about Netflix completely screwing the pooch on their first MLB broadcast. Maybe talk about how our teams have done in the first week of this MLB season. Sony has jacked up the prices of their PS5s, and we're going to talk about some baseball movies to watch. I guess this is going to be a really baseball heavy baseball heavy week.
It's been in theme lately. I'll stick with it. I'm fine because I've been watching baseball all week too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people that listen to us either for pinball and or video game stuff and might not care so much about it, but this is for us, right?
It's my show. I do what I want.
Oh, I forgot one really important thing. We're also going to draw our winner for our raffle this week.
Oh, hell yeah.
R36 T-Max handhelds that Nick keeps sending me more and more of to give out, so let's get rid of them.
Hey man, the companies want me to write about this stuff, and I have too many as it is, so if we can bring a couple more folk on board this way, I'm happy to do it. Plus, spreading the joy of emulation gaming is a bonus.
That's, we are going to bring some new converts, hopefully, here.
Yeah, man.
So, big news for both of us. We didn't mention this last week, surprisingly, but we are both going to be going to the Golden State Pinball Festival in Lodi, California.
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, so I was like, oh yeah, we are doing that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it out there because, I don't know, the way life is, but things have kind of lined up, and we're going to have the whole gang there, and I think it's going to be a pretty good time.
I am looking forward not just to fun pinball weekend action, but it sounds like we're just going to be like chilling at a campsite at the fairgrounds with grills and beers and RVs or tents or what have you. And just a good hang is what I'm looking forward to, man.
Yeah, I've been talking to the guys, our friends from Extra Napkins and Joe and Sam from Rad Junk, talking about how, usually the yearly get-together is down at Really Rad Weekend, which consists of 5 to 10 minutes of maybe getting to talk because everyone's running around with their heads cut off. But this is going to be a weekend where I think, for the most part, we're all just going to be able to hang out and chill.
Yeah, and what a cool event, man. So I know people have talked about it in the past, but I've never gone, obviously, and this will be my first time. But I went to like buy tickets for the weekend, and they're like, no, you can just buy them at the door for the weekend, and it's $60 for the whole weekend. Can't do better than that. And by doing that, they're cutting out all the middlemen that are wetting their beaks with processing fees and BS and everything like that. And it seems to be a mostly volunteer-run event, too. I'm not really that familiar with the details, but I'm certainly liking the way that it's being run. And the weekend tournament is only $40 for entry, so I don't know where else you can get that much fun for $100 out the door these days. So I'm really excited.
No, it seemed like it's going to be pretty awesome. Ian was telling us how his buddy gets a few camping sites and they have, people just put out pinball machines in the field under,
Yeah, I love this. Like
canopies and stuff.
Yeah, just play outdoor pinball at night might be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to have to, as much as I really don't want to play in the tournament because, that's just who I am. I think it'd be really cool to get all of us in there to play and maybe have our own in tournament between the five, six, eight of us,
Oh, I don't
however
even need
many.
to do that. I just want everybody to participate because I think it's fun and neat, and I want you to do it so that you don't self-sabotage and sandbag yourself. Because whether everybody knows this or not, Wyatt doesn't believe in his own pin abilities, and generally is much better than he assigns himself as being. So by forcing him to play in the tournament, I think we'll be able to see how good he really is.
How did Interium go last November when I played?
All right, your nerves were to shit. You were distracted, and you're that's a hard room with a lot of hard competition. You could have a good game and still get screwed. So I think that you need to push that aside. That was your one, nervous nilly tournament, and now you'll have your wings, and you'll be ready to go. You're broadcasting from a pinball club, Wyatt. You have more in this than I do. You're ingrained into the world now. You have to participate.
Fine, fine. Speaking of participating, you've been participating in a lot of extracurriculars with family recently, and I think you've
Arrgh.
just basically been able to get back to your normal life, huh?
Well, yeah, as of yesterday, I guess, but back to playing catch up. Yeah, so last week was spring break. Kid was off school, and my 80-year-old parents were here for a visit, whom I love very dearly, but, appreciate the 1,000 miles between us sometimes. No, we got to do a lot of fun stuff. Went to the zoo, got to go to dinner with the wife, just the two of us, which never happens. And then we went to the Volo Museum, which, for anyone that doesn't know, is a private museum and collection here in the Chicagoland area, and has one of the most impressive car collections, gotta be anywhere, from film, TV, classics. Kind of the neat part about it, depending on your view, I certainly couldn't indulge, but if you're walking through the museum and you see something you like, you can tuck into the office and buy it. Now, I don't have 150 grand to buy some incredible classic sports car or the Ghostbusters mobile from the movie, but I like that it's an option somehow.
Is that the place you saw the Ninja Turtles van?
Yep. So I mean, if it's a famous car, chances are they have a screen used one in the museum. So there's a screen, like there's a DeLorean, there's a Ghostbusters mobile, there's a Turtles van, which obviously wasn't actually in the movie, but it was kind of like a fan thing. But they have a Batmobile. They have a bunch of different cars from Fast and Furious. They had an Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, which I super appreciated. That movie hit me at 16 years old, right at the right time when I wanted to go vroom vroom. Just a bunch of really cool stuff. It's a little, it's a little boomery. There's a big collection of classic advertisement signs. They're about like why women and wives are kind of dumb. I didn't love that so much,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's very much clearly someone who grew up in the '60s and is curating this collection. A lot of stuff. They had like a Johnny Cash drag racer. A lot of that kind of Munsters type of. I'm having trouble thinking of the artist, but like the Rat Fink dragster type 60s,
oh yeah,
70s
yep.
counterculture art. A lot of that type of stuff. Very much of those vibes. I don't imagine anyone who's running the place would feel out of place working at the old version of American Pinball. Let me say that. But as a fan of cars, it was definitely cool. And they have all these different buildings. It's crazy. So you leave the one car building and walk into like this insane military museum type thing, which was pretty cool. And then there's just like a snowmobile history building where they have all these ridiculous snowmobiles from throughout time. And this is the vehicle that made the first pilgrimage to the North Pole 100 years ago. And just crazy stuff you would never even think of. God knows what it's all worth. And then when you're finished with the museum, we didn't have time to do it, but I will want to go back there. There's a full antique shop / gigantic antiques mall there on the property too. So I'm sure I could spend all day there as well. If
Did
you're
you know
ever,
that the first snowmobile was actually invented in New Hampshire?
I mean, I didn't, but that certainly makes
Yeah,
sense, doesn't it?
yeah. There's actually a conversion kit for a Model T.
They had several Model Ts there, and I swear that they had the one that you're probably talking about. I'll go through the pictures and see if I can't find it, but they had a Model T with like treads and skis on it.
Yep, yeah, that was invented in Ospey, New Hampshire. Why I remember exactly that, who knows? I guess maybe they force feed us it in elementary school or something. But hey,
Well, next time you're out, I may have to get you up there because I know you're a racing and a car guy. You'd really appreciate it for sure.
yeah, I look forward to it. Which hopefully might be this November. I think we should probably do the same thing we did last year. As long as it's good with your family, and I'll come out to Chicago for a couple days, and then we'll hit Florida.
They can deal. Wyatt and I got hot dogs to eat.
It's true. You have a lot more hot dogs in Chicago that we need to get through.
Damn right. What about you? You do anything fun last week? You watch anything cool?
Watch stuff is a loaded question because my memory, if I don't write it down immediately, is pretty much gone. I know I did finish season 2 of A Man on the Inside, which I enjoyed just as much as the first season. Ted Danson is
I finished the
fantastic.
first season and got into the second season.
I really enjoy it.
I think you mentioned in the last episode we were talking about this actually, and I wanted to touch back to it that you really liked the grandkids in that show.
Yes.
Man, I know that they're there to piss me off, but it does really annoy me. For anybody who hasn't seen the show, Ted Danson's grandchildren in the show are, let's say, 12 through 15. There's 3 of them, and they're the most just stereotypical absent-minded teenagers of the current generation that you could possibly put on screen. Completely helpless, and bro, you got a bro, and I am the same age probably as the parents in the show, so I'm like, God damn it! But it's fun to watch them question themselves, like, how have we failed them that they've become like this?
That's probably my favorite part is the back and forth between the husband and wife of like, how did this happen?
Yeah, they seem quite idiotic. What did we do? So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that show, touching back on that, and definitely will watch the second season. It's obvious that they're kind of, I don't know how expecting they were of it being a success, especially in the Netflix world, to have a second season. So they kind of just found ways to write him back with the PI office. But anyway, you slice it, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it's a family friendly show, really. It is, and it's.
I think we said it's like PG-13 in the worst of times.
Yeah, that's about and that's very few times, and that might be when Jason Mantzoukas is on screen, which you probably haven't seen him yet, depending on how much you've seen it season 2. But Rafi does appear.
Oh, Rafi's going to appear? I didn't know who that was. Oh, hell yeah. Now I'm definitely going to finish the second season. Gattaca!
Michael Schur seems to have used a lot of the people that he used in The Good Place. So it's kind of fun to see more and more of those people pop up as the series goes on. And I believe the show's already been picked up for season 3. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, so I watched that. But my fun this week was I finally decided to take G Van Choi out of storage. And
hell yeah. That means it must be spring.
Yeah. G Van Choi, for anyone who doesn't know, is my 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon Westfalia that I bought a couple years ago. It was one of my dream cars since I was a child, and finally found one within my price range that, as one may know, soon comes out of your price range when you have to factor in all the fixes and things you have to do to these things.
But you named it after a Tampa Bay Ray.
I named it after the best Tampa Bay Ray, who I'm actually, not that I'm on video right now, but you can see on my shirt, I'm wearing a shirt that says Choi to the world.
Wait a minute. What if my name was Dick Pussy?
Sorry, it was a...
So yeah, I decided to take it out for a quick spin. I had some work done on it last fall, right before I put it away for the winter. So I was kind of eager to take it out and see how it went. I put 50, 60 miles on it this past weekend, and it ran great. I got to do some spring cleaning on the inside because a couple of rodents decided that it was a nice cozy spot to spend the winter, but not too
Oh, were
bad.
they anybody gnawing on your wiring?
Oh, I mean, we'll find out. It doesn't seem like it, but more, some they thought it was a nice little bathroom maybe on the carpet,
Oh,
but
yeah, I've spring is definitely sprung because the critters who are hibernating under my deck are starting to come out and noticed somebody was gnawing on the solar cable the other night.
oh
So
no.
got to get some mesh wrapping for all of that. And I'm just glad it happened at night when there wasn't current flowing through
Ah,
it.
good call. Yeah, that could have been
Yeah.
bad. You gotta get Bowie out there to guard it for you.
Yeah, he's only too happy to oblige, unfortunately. I want him to leave the possums and the raccoons alone as I try to explain to him that those are all forest friends, but he doesn't share my opinion on
Well, you can only do so much.
that.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, yesterday was beautiful. I don't know how it was out there for you, but it was about 65 and sunny here yesterday.
Okay, yeah, so I have to go off about this. We're still in the roller
False
coaster
spring.
of weather. It's driving me insane. So, yeah, it was like 70 and sunny yesterday, and now we're supposed to get snow on Wednesday. I'm going to blow my head off. Just stick to a season. The poor birds don't know what is going on out there, damn it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way here. It was almost 70 yesterday. It's 50 or so and raining today. It's gonna be 65 again tomorrow, and then I think it's dropping back to the 30s for the next week.
Yeah, it's
Like,
bullshit. But
so that's the other reason why I wanted to get the van out, because I knew that it wasn't like really time for me to do it, but I had a nice little patch where I could, so why not?
yeah, man,
But
just cruise.
yeah, and that's about the speed you're going, is you gotta elongate those U's and cruise, because that thing cannot get out of its own way. It's part of the fun unless you're driving behind it.
Well, we call that personality.
Oh, I love it. I
That's
absolutely
how you
love it.
develop a relationship with a vehicle.
Yeah. When you're
Yeah.
going from point A to point B, and every time you go, you're like, oh God, I hope I make it. And then you get there. Like, you just don't realize how excited you are to end up at the grocery store because your vehicle made it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't share your enthusiasm for the Vanagon. That's your deal. Fair enough. I love that you love it. But one day, if all goes right in this world, I will own some version of an Uncle Buck boat car that backfires horribly. That's the dream.
That's fair. I think that would fit you pretty well.
I dude, if I mean I should have something with bench seats in my life, right?
Exactly, like a Vanagon.
Fair. There you go. No, I need something with a baritone sax playing as background music while I drive as it rocks back and forth up and down the road.
Touche, touche.
Speaking of Uncle Buck, though, I did knock some movies off the list this past week. If you want to talk about any of those,
Yeah, one last thing, because
yeah.
I started a story and then I forgot where I went and went off on a
Oh yeah,
tangent.
sorry.
But no, I was gonna say last night, because it was so nice, I actually broke out the grill for the first time in the spring. So that was
Oh
kind
hell
of
yeah.
nice to do. Did some pork loin, did some sweet potatoes on the grill, and pork I overdid a little bit because I haven't really dialed it back in yet. But it still tasted real good. And
Got to find your hot spots. Now, are you talking grilling? Because I know you have the gas flat top that's outside that I'm very
yeah, this
jealous
was
of
just
too.
grilling. Yeah, I haven't busted out the flat top yet. This was my dual fuel Oklahoma Joe grill with
Oh, nice.
yeah, I can do charcoal, I can do propane. Decided to just toss in the propane because I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time out there just doing a few things of pork. But yeah, it was nice. I'm looking forward to having a nice back deck that I can have all my stuff out there and
The
kind of
season
get
has
to it.
arrived. You know, it's
Yes.
funny. I think I mentioned this to you yesterday talking about grilling and stuff. And I always joke, since we moved to this house, I've never had to go to the dump because
Yeah.
for whatever reason, there's the junk crews that just troll around and they will pick up stuff. Anything that you put on the curb, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I took
There's
out a
always a guy for
gigantic
that.
Yeah, I took out a refrigerator, just put it on. Like, the neighbors are like, just put it on the curb. The junk guys will get it. I had no idea what they were talking about. Sure enough, it was gone. So I wheeled out with the trash yesterday my broken smoker, my master smoker, or whatever it was that I got on a sale at Lowe's for like $99 years ago. It served me well, but as the cover disintegrated in Chicago winters, the control board got fried. And as dirty, as caked and messed up as it's become over the years, it was time to let it go. Funny part is, I joked to myself, like, haha, this won't last on the curb. The junk guys will grab it first thing in the morning. My wife got home 15 minutes later. It was already gone. Like, that blew my mind. But I love it. I love it. It's like the Sanford and Son circle of life. There's somebody out there that wants my garbage, and I have garbage to give.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Hey, man, if they just want scrap metal or whatever they're doing, more power to you. You have done me a favor. This works out for everyone. What a wonderful ecosystem.
Where's your cash for copper drop?
Oh, I don't have it ready. Damn it. What,
We'll give you cash for your copper.
That's on me. That's on me. That's on me.
But I don't know how we ever got around to that, my garbage taking out when I wanted to talk about movies. But I did watch some movies over the weekend.
What'd you watch?
So I'll start with an old thing that I'm sure you're going to yell at me about this, especially given my background. But we wanted to watch a Blu-ray on Saturday, and I pulled down off the shelf something I received for Christmas in 4K and realized I've never actually seen all the way through. Hot Fuzz.
You've never seen Hot Fuzz?
So I had seen Shaun of the Dead about, I don't know, a gazillion times. I've
As
seen
one
the
does.
world. I've seen The World's End a handful of times when it was coming on TV and stuff, and picked up bits and pieces of Hot Fuzz over the years. Never even came close to seeing the whole thing. It was one of those movies where I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this. And the missus was like, yeah, I know we've watched this. And we got halfway through it and like, neither of us have seen this.
Oh, come on.
So I can now say that I've completed the Cornetto trilogy. I'm very proud of that. Damn, how is that movie such a blind spot in my comedy?
Especially with Timothy Dalton, man.
It's yeah, Timothy Dalton plays kind of the obvious bad guy in this, which is fantastic. It's obviously an Edgar Wright movie with help me out. What's wrong with me?
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Thank you. The classic duo from many things in the English comedy sphere over the years, but they pretty much started with a show called something about aliens that I can't remember that was super low budget before they got Shaun of the Dead, which is where the world kind of took notice of them. But yeah, if you've never seen Hot Fuzz, it's absolutely hilarious, and I love the fact that Simon Pegg is kind of playing the straight once again, but Nick Frost is not just the goofy cop, but also the one that's obsessed with movies that I happen to love.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's giving him the business about how can you have never seen Bad Boys 2? I was like, yeah, that's an honest question. I mean, I loved it. Yeah, hilarious. Do you ever like get really mad and just fire your gun up into the air like, just like in Point Break? Oh man. Yeah, so many good little one-liners. A lot of stuff that was like blink and you'll miss it jokes, which I love. He's accosting all the kids in the pub that are clearly underage. You, when's your birthday? February 22nd. What year? Every year. That's great stuff, man. So yeah, obviously you've seen it, and
oh yeah, many times. I'm really
I can
surprised
see
you've
why
never seen it.
It's just a blind spot, man. I don't know why, and yeah, high reason for its classic status. So if you're like me and stupid and never watched it, it's well worth it. Past that, the night before that, we watched the new Sam Raimi flick, Send Help, which was in theaters, I think, earlier this year.
I know nothing about it. I'm going to be honest. I know nothing.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is, as I said, Sam Raimi of, everybody's favorite Evil Dead fame, the early Spider-Man movies, etc., etc. He lives somewhat in his own genre world of horror comedy. And if he doesn't live there entirely, he certainly helped create the genre of horror comedy, I would say.
Yeah.
So this
He's on the
is
Mount Rushmore.
yeah, for sure. This is his latest movie. It did pretty well in theaters, I think. Starring Rachel McAdams, who everyone knows from a million things. Wedding Crashers is probably what I know her best from 20 years ago. And Dylan O'Brien, who I really recognized, but I couldn't place him until I realized. So he was in all the Maze Runner movies, which I never saw. But I realized I knew him. God, what was? I gotta see his picture now.
I'm trying to think of what would have seen him in.
It was very. Oh, you know what it was? The movie Saturday Night. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
watched
yeah,
that.
yep.
He played
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd and did
Yes,
a
he did.
phenomenal job as a young Dan Aykroyd.
I don't know if we talked about that movie on the podcast or not. I think we did, but
we did briefly early
the
on.
casting was so good for
Superb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in this, and he plays the nepo baby boss. The dad
Mhm.
dies, who owns the company, and he's the greased up grad school guy who's gonna come in, shake things up, blah 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 blah. Who cares about the way my dad ran the company? He's old and dead. And Rachel McAdams is kind of the loyal, longtime employee that loved his dad, was promised the world by the dad, and obviously she's going to be passed over for her promotion and all these things. Long story short, they're on a private plane, and it crashes on a deserted island, and hilarity ensues. So there's kind of a obvious shift in power dynamic. Her character is meant to be obsessed with the outdoors and the show Survivor, which is kind of buried into her backstory. And well, I can read you the synopsis. When an employee and her insufferable boss become stranded on a deserted island, the only survivors of a plane crash, they must overcome past grievances and work together to make it out alive.
Boy.
But as you can imagine, in a Sam Raimi feature, things go sideways fairly quickly in a lot of different fun ways, and plenty of red stuff squirted everywhere in between. I would recommend you watch this, and will look forward to hearing your thoughts on it. I was kind of left scratching my head a bit by the end of it.
I'll definitely add it to the list. I mean, I love Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
I tell
not.
you that I saw Evil Dead the musical a few
You
years
did.
ago?
I think we talked about it on here.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's all right. But I'm not sure what I was meant to be left with when credits rolled at this movie. And I was kind of like, yeah, okay, I get it. But are we just forgetting that any of this happened? So without spoiling anything, go give it a watch if you have the chance, and we'll reconvene and talk about it, because well worth a watch. But I'll be interested to see what you come away with it with.
Yeah, I'll toss that on the list. I don't think I really watched any other movies myself, but I think
did.
you told me you got one more that you may have watched with the kid.
I did. So actually, it was two, but I'll save the other one.
Two, jeez.
Yeah, we covered some ground in the past week. No, I watched a movie that I was unfamiliar with, actually, when it came out in theaters, until he just pointed it out to me. It was an animated flick called Hoppers, and it's a Disney Pixar movie that was just out in theaters. And the reason I think I was not informed about it is because the journey from theater to streaming or VOD is so short now that by the time I find out about it, it's already done its run.
Yep. Yeah, movies do not stay long in the theaters anymore.
No, they don't.
Or at least exclusively.
Yeah, so this is like I said, Pixar Disney animated feature. And if the last several that I've seen, I tend to see them all because I have a young child, have been a bit of a miss for the Pixar crew, this is definitely a return to form.
This cast is ridiculous.
The cast is unbelievable. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I really wanted to watch it too. But I watched that movie Elio in theaters. That was just hot trash for the most part. This was great. And like Wyatt just said the cast is unbelievable. First and foremost, not to give favoritism, but it's our show, so we do whatever we want. Sam Richardson
Yep, I
from
was just looking at
Detroiters
that.
fame is here, and he's great, as
This guy. Can you believe it?
as he always
Can
is.
you freaking believe it?
And I don't have the drop ready, but in what very well may have been his final performance, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. was also in the movie. And let me just say, fantastic as always. Shit. My favorite, as discussed on this show from Stranger Things, is Eduardo Franco. He's in this movie. Kathy Nanjimi, who is fantastic in absolutely everything, is in this movie. Favorite from new show that we've discussed on this show, Reggie Dinkins. Bobby Moynihan is in this movie. John Hamm, Dave Franco, Piper Curda plays the main character. I was not familiar with her prior to this. I don't know if you are at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at her right now, and I don't think I've seen. Looks like she's been in a lot of like C-list movies.
Mm-hmm. And she's in the new TV version of Matlock.
Yeah, I was just saying, I
Kathy
just saw
Bates
she's in Matlock.
seen.
Yeah.
But good Lord, Meryl Streep is in it for a minute.
I was gonna say you left out Meryl Streep.
Well, she has a fairly small part, but she's in it. Dave Franco.
Vanessa Bayer, who's from look. I wonder if how much Sam Richardson, friends with Tim Robinson. Vanessa Bayer, who was she was in the. I believe she was in that I Think You Should Leave skit where they're talking about, slopping it up with, these sluts and
it's Aparna, is it Nancherla? I butcher her name, unfortunately, but I know her from the Aziz Ansari show, and she's like the girl that he goes on a blind date with, and she talks about wrestling the whole time. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
but she
Nicole
pops up in a lot
Sakura,
of
who's
stuff.
from oh god, she's from Superstore. Yeah, this is just hit after hit. Dimitri Martin's in it.
Yep, it's hard for me to have watched this.
John Hamm.
Not think that it was kind of directly now aiming at me as the parent that has to take the kid to see the thing.
This has to be I'm sure. You'll obviously talk more about it. I'm sure it's a kid's movie, but definitely it's hey, parents, every single one of these voices. You'll probably like this.
Yeah, and it's a very cut and dry premise. It's about basically they develop a way to transfer human consciousness into very realistic looking animal robots. So it's basically Avatar, but with but with creatures of the woodland forest. That's what it is.
Fair.
But there's a lot of good messages along the way, but it's very classic Pixar, and without ruining anything, there are plenty of jokes that soar directly over the kids' heads that the parents will appreciate. So highly, highly recommend Hoppers. That was a good one.
Did you watch The Wild Robot?
Yes, fantastic movie. Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. Yeah, that was a really good one. I don't know why, but that kind of same art style, obviously, so it was making me think of that.
Yeah, well, that was one that was I think that's basically a new classic in children's books these days.
Yes.
So we were very familiar going into it, and it definitely didn't let us down. Yeah, that was a great one. And, even if you don't have kids, both of these great movies. Yeah,
I mean, I might watch Hoppers at some point. Like I said, I don't have kids, so it might not. But we watched The Wild Robot when it came out, and we both loved that.
I grew up on Toy Story. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade when the first one came out, for God's sake. So it's not like I'm not going to watch Toy Story 5 now with my kid.
Just Toy Story 5 coming out?
Yeah. And you know what the premise is? It's good enough that I'm okay with them doing Toy Story 5. The premise is the tablet enters the picture.
Oh, to take over all of the toys?
Yeah, so the little girl gets the leapfrog tablet or what have you, and it sucks her in.
All right, I can get behind that.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that was my exciting life and week.
Yeah, I think that, everyone enjoys our, let's see, probably 40-minute intros.
Well, talking about pinball, and you're broadcasting from your pinball club, did you guys get Pokemon? Because I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, yep. We got Pokemon a few weeks ago, I think. The club just had their um tournament, their launch
Launch
party
party.
for it
Yeah.
on Saturday, I believe. I did not sign up for it, partially because it filled up super fast.
I've
Uh,
never been to a launch party
I've
because
been to one.
the
They're fun.
machines tend to have been around for a week or two on location before the launch party happens. So I'm like, I already played Jaws. What do I need to go to the launch party for?
Yeah, right. That's the same thing way that this was. I really enjoy the way that does this. So they have to keep the new Sterns flowing in here. As we know, Stern, what is it? Once every 3 months, basically, they release a new game. I think they
Quarterly,
do.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
they do
Yeah.
3 new IPs, and then I think they usually do one remaster. Is that
Oh,
correct?
is that like the way it works now? That's
I
great. I
think
like
that's
that.
the way it's been.
Oh,
But
so like you do 3 new machines, then you do Godzilla reissue, then you do three
yeah,
new machines, then you do Metallica reissue kind of thing. That's what they're doing?
I think talking to Jeremy, one of the guys who runs the club here, I think that's the way that they have been going, at least for the last couple years. Is
Yeah, I
usually I
like
think
that.
the first release of the year is the remake, and then there's 3 new ones, and then the beginning of the year they do the remake. But yeah, we got the Pokemon Pro here. I actually right before we recorded, because it's people have been slamming it.
I'm
And nobody
sure.
was here when I got here this morning, so I finally got a chance to put in my first game. I put up a little over 100 million, which looking at the leaderboards isn't anything impressive, but for, the first go around, it was pretty good.
I'm sure it'll be better than my first go around. Before I stepped on you, you were about to say that you keep the new Sterns there at the
Yeah,
club
yeah.
on coin drop.
Yeah, so the way that we do it here is the new Stern comes in and we essentially run a tournament for 3 months. The way it goes is everyone that's a member of the club gets assigned to a different team. So for Pokemon, it's like Team Grass, Team Lightning, Team Poison, Team Fire, Team Water.
That's
And
kind of cool.
each week you go up, you try to put your highest score, and the teams, I think two teams on top, don't have anything happen, and then 3, 4, and 5, you take damage points and they roll, they carry on each week until teams get eliminated, and it eliminates a whole team, and then until I'm gonna guess this will probably go a couple months to find out who eventually one team is left, and then that team plays against each other to find out who actually is the champion overall.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, so it's a good way to obviously try and put some money into the club. So the way this works, I know we've talked about it before, is uh, you can pay $15 for a day pass. Everything here is free drop except for the newest Stern. Or you could be a member for $50 a month, and you have 24/7 access to our MAME arcade machine. We have over 250 board games, probably about 10 different video game systems, and then 30 plus pinball machines.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So the idea is the new machine, we raise money with a coin drop, and the goal is to raise the same amount of money that the machine cost, and then we just roll that money into the new Stern, and that's a way for us to keep bringing the new one in. And then at the end of the time, we offer up the new Stern to any members that want to buy it for a pretty damn good price. So then a
Oh,
member
wow.
can go ahead and buy the machine, and they can either. The nice thing is, or the nice thing to do, which members so far have done, is you buy the machine, then you still just leave it on location. But when you want to take it home, it's yours and you take it home with you. Or obviously you could buy it and just go ahead and be like, yeah, this is going to my personal. But it's
Well, I
been,
mean, it's a good compromise to not bleed members or, end up in debt as an organization. You just, finance the next machine with this current newest one. And then as it cycles through, you can play the older ones with your membership. That's great.
yeah, and everyone, as far as I haven't heard anyone really complain about it. Because again, like you don't have to play it if you don't want to. There's still 30 plus other pinball machines.
Yeah, it's
And the
like,
fun,
the latest $60 video game. It's like, I can wait till
yeah,
it
wait
comes
until
down.
it's on
That's fine.
sale.
Yeah.
That's what I did with Fall of the Empire, the Star Wars game. We had that come in. I played a few rounds on it for the little tournament thing, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm good. And
Yeah,
we got the
because if it's a
Pokemon
machine
one.
that you could kind of take or leave, no big deal, but it's there for the people that want it, and that's great.
Yeah, and it's been really good. We actually have a couple guys, and usually they drag in a few other people. But every Wednesday, they actually have been streaming the newest Stern. So they've past few weeks they've been streaming them playing Pokemon from like I think it starts at like 7 and goes until maybe midnight or so. And it's kind of just a cool thing to hop on Twitch and you can kind of watch some pretty damn good pinball players go through the game. And they talk about strategies. They're playing it. I'm hitting this shot, so I want to do this. And then, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm just trying not to hit a post and center drain. But,
That's that's when I play in tournaments. And some buddies like, how did you do that? How'd you pull that off? I have absolutely no idea. I shoot where it lights up, man.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think the Pokemon game itself, it's not what I was hoping it would be, which is fine. So from what I've noticed, essentially you hit some shots and then, you discover a Pokemon and then it's kind of like a hurry up where you need to hit one of the ramps to then capture the Pokemon. And then it carries over your progress that way. So I'm not actually sure how many Pokemon are in this version, but it puts it in your Pokedex and, the goal is, eventually you catch them all. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a little more story based, kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons machine, but, it's the shots are fun. There's a pretty hard center shot to hit. The mouth balloon is blocking a center shot that you have to knock out of the way a few times, and then it rises up and you can hit the center shot.
My buddy told me he had a really hard time with the left ramp. He said it's
Yes.
just beyond a 3/4 shot that he just couldn't find the right place for it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one that I've had the most trouble with. Of course, like I said, I've played one game on it, so it's not like I've done a whole lot, but I know that there was an issue when it first came out. I think it was the left ramp. If you didn't bring it up all the way, it would pretty much just center drain it every shot. So people have come up with kind of like their backyard fixes of either like moving it and drilling a small hole, moving a screw here or there until Stern kind of fixes it. And to me, it's very surprising. Like, it's not just one or two machines. Like, it's really surprising how something like that can be released and just.
Yeah, it seems like a fairly large oversight for an operation that large,
right?
Hopefully, that's just an initial run type of thing. But
I'm sure it's gonna. I'm sure it's gonna be. If it has a fix hasn't been released yet, which I'm honestly not sure. I'm sure one will be coming soon. And then if there are any more in production, I'm sure that'll be.
I'll after we finish recording, I'll hop in the car, drive down to Stern, be like, guys, let's make sure we're putting our best foot forward here. We just finished a recording of We Don't Have It Yet, and my co-host,
our 50+ listeners really, they're gonna come.
Some of us have problems with the Pokemon machine, guys. Let's go ahead and step it up a little bit here. So Stern out there, we're the big boys. Come on.
It's always fun to play the new games. Like I'm excited to try a lot more of the other, companies, the smaller companies and stuff, just because Stern games are definitely fun. Stern is, at the top for a reason, but Stern games are Stern games, essentially. Like, they're all built on the same platform. You know what you're getting for the most part, and it's kind of fun just to see other companies' takes on these things.
I get excited by the stuff that Spooky and Barrels of Fun are doing, for sure.
I'm just waiting to see when we're going to find out who's making Dungeon.
Yeah, it's probably one of those two. Hopefully, I guess. I still want to see an Evil Dead on location somewhere.
Maybe if we're lucky, we will see one at Golden State.
Fingers crossed, buddy. Yeah, I haven't seen one since Expo, and the lines were insane.
I can imagine. I still poke around on Facebook from time to time. And the Golden State Pinball Festival has a page, so obviously I followed that because I wanted to see, what's going on and stuff. And they asked you, what machine are you hoping to see? And of course, you know what my answer was. Shack Attack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were going for something new there or not, but yeah.
Oh God, no. That's the game I want.
I think Shack Attack's probably a foregone conclusion, isn't it? That's gonna be there somewhere.
I don't know. I had said it, and someone said that's because I said the best pinball machine ever made, Shack Attack.
Oh yeah, fighting words there.
I think it was Golden State that responded. They're like, "That's an interesting choice."
That's a take.
Don't knock it until you are like top 30 in the world in high scores, which I think as of last Really Rad Weekend I was. So,
Heyo.
and I will probably never top that.
So Pokemon I'm just going back into that
Yeah.
first. It is progressive over plays.
Yes, for catching Pokemon, that it
Yeah,
stores
and
your
so
Pokédex, and every time you scan in, it keeps track of that.
yeah, like I said, I haven't played it, but obviously I've read a bit, and it seems like the loop of catching Pokemon sounds fun to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You got to hit a couple shots, which then discovers the Pokemon, and then you got to hit the Pokeball shot to catch them. I'm sure, like I said, put one game into it. I haven't progressed very far, so I don't know if it's like, after you catch 20 Pokemon, maybe something happens. I have no idea how the actual progression, aside from discover new Pokemon, catch new Pokemon, is.
Well, as someone that played his first Pokemon game a few weeks ago, that seems to be the entirety of the series, so that works.
Yeah, to be fair, that is exactly what Pokemon is.
Yep. All
But
right. Well,
speaking-
coming out of that fun pinball talk, I have to go process my coffee before we get into our next sections of discussion and Backlog Buster Brothers.
No, but I had you going pee in a few more segments. You screwed me up.
Yeah, but the coffee's strong this morning.
That's fair. All right, we'll be back.
I'll be right back.
When I'm watching a commercial for a new tech device, I'm looking for an ad that's fun.
That's cool.
That's edited way too fast.
Fast.
With a lot of lines repeated a bunch, just like that.
Like that.
And starring young professionals with creative jobs.
Jobs you're not even sure exist.
I'm a wicker weaver.
I'm looking for a commercial that uses words like now,
Emotion.
Global.
spoken totally out of context.
Or in unison while laughing.
Fast.
I want an ad with diversity. Because it doesn't matter if you're a guy,
Or a girl.
white, or black.
I want to see lots of small businessmen and women, like architects.
Gardeners.
Bakers.
Bakers.
A whole lot of bakers.
Or at least someone holding a baguette, like me.
I'm looking for a commercial set to an indie rock song, one that uses a lot of accordion.
Or glockenspiel.
Or this instrument.
Most of all, I'm just looking for a good product. Shop. No, one with kids. Cute kids, though.
Hey guys, can you see me? Hi, I miss you.
And a soldier. Hey, Baba. You know, emotional shit.
His daddy.
That's what'll get me to buy a smartphone.
Or a wearable computer.
Or a website that finally puts me in the driver's seat.
Whatever that means.
One more baker.
And a logo without text.
And we're back. And
Heyo.
I think we're done our probably 2.5 hour long intro.
Fat.
And yeah, let's talk some baseball. I know that we're a baseball podcast first and foremost. That's what everyone knows about us. And
It was a behind the scenes wrestling podcast and now a baseball podcast, right?
we don't have it yet. We'll figure out what we are. But yeah, so this past week was opening week for Major League Baseball, and how are you feeling about your Orioles?
I feel good, honestly. Everybody was already kind of freaking out that it's like they're not getting started quick enough. Where's the spark in this team? Where's the magic? They look so great on paper. It's like it's day 3.
That is my favorite part about opening week and fan bases is just huge overreactions.
Huge overreactions. But the game, was it Sunday afternoon, was fantastic. That was just good baseball. And then last night's game was great. I feel good about this team. I think we have to get into a position where by the break we're in buying mode and making some bullpen additions. But there's been some really good stuff so far. Obviously, you want to see the bats a little more. But Garcia, the reliever, man, he's got some amazing stuff. He's been coming in for like an inning at a time, and there's things to be excited about, which is the best part of spring baseball to me.
You've got a nice young team, so I mean, if they can put it together again,
Anything can
could
happen.
be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Rays. I'm not one of those complete doomers and gloomers, but yeah, the bullpen has looked pretty bad the first few games of the season, which again, beginning of the season, but buddy, I think we've given up like probably top 5 in runs allowed so far this year, but we're still 2-2.
Nobody knows anything. Everybody can claim that they've studied everything under the sun, and you could get every nerd from every rotisserie, baseball, everything under the sun. They're all going to have different opinions of what they know is going to happen, but it's baseball.
And they don't have it yet.
Heyo.
But so the reason why I really wanted to bring up baseball is because this year Netflix has received some primetime games, including the opening night game with the San Francisco Giants and the New York Yankees. And I had made a post on Blue Sky before this game had happened, talking about how I think it's I think it's stupid. You have to have Amazon Prime, you have to have Netflix, you have to have all these different
It's horrible.
adjacent
Horrible.
streaming services to watch games. And I had mentioned about how these companies don't really know how to do sports. And lo and behold, the day after the San Francisco Giants New York Yankees game, there were takes left and right about how Netflix absolutely bombed this broadcast.
Well,
From the score bug being absolute ass to the first ABS challenge, which is the new system where batters, pitchers, and catchers can challenge any pitch. And so we had one called in the game, and Netflix decided to not even focus on that. Missed the first challenge ever was missed on this broadcast. And
well, did they? First and foremost, they haven't exactly had the best track record when it comes to live broadcast events.
No.
Were they able to deliver the video stream to their customers first?
From what it sounds like, for the most part, but there were some spotty spots.
Yeah, I can
Like-
definitely imagine. I just hate the fact
hate
that,
it.
like you said, this has been taken over. It's taking over primetime baseball and much of sports. And if you don't have 9 different subscriptions, you can't watch all your games. And what drives me nuts is, so take my Orioles, and they broadcast on Masson.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to spend $100 on a Masson Plus subscription to watch the Orioles, I'm still shit out of luck because it only is applicable to in-market games. Like, you have to be in the Baltimore market physically, and any game that's broadcast on Netflix or Amazon or anything else isn't included. So what am I gonna pay for baseball for? I'm not offered anything. That drives me insane. Just give me a way to watch my team's games, and I will gladly pay you. But until that time, I'm gonna keep working around the system because fuck this.
Yeah, I mean,
Rant
I've had me and some people have had an MLB TV subscription, which is great for me being, and I guess it would be great for you too, because both of us live out of market compared to the teams that we follow.
Mm-hmm.
So I can watch a majority of the Tampa Bay Rays games until they play the Red Sox. I have to find a way to watch in-market games because I cannot watch games in the Red Sox market, obviously being in New Hampshire.
I mean, are games even being broadcast, like Saturday and Sunday games, as they traditionally were? Are they being broadcast on broadcast television in any way anymore?
That's a good question.
So, like, when I was growing
I know
up,
there's-
before
yeah, I don't know.
Masson existed, there was HTS, which is Home Team Sports. And if you wanted
Yeah.
to be able to watch every single Orioles game, you had to pay your $8 a month or whatever and have a subscription to Home Team Sports. But Saturday and Sunday games, usually one of those was broadcast on the local network affiliate as well. So normal, non-paying customers could still watch weekend baseball.
I don't know if there's
Is that
any
still a
way
thing?
to do. I don't think so. I mean, the closest you have is someone like the Rays themselves, because they, I think it was, I don't know, one of the sports books had the rights to playing the Rays games, and they got rid of it. So MLB actually holds the rights to games, and you can in market now. Finally, there are no blackouts in market for Rays games.
Mhm.
So you can go ahead and get whatever package and you can watch all 162 games, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. I remember growing up, but it's kind of funny that I'm not really a Braves fan. Is obviously, the Superstation. It's Braves games on TBS.
Yeah, they were
like that
everywhere.
was,
Yep.
I watched so many Braves games because of that. And
Turner loved his Atlanta sports, man.
yeah, this is a little off topic, but not really. But it's really hard to become a sports fan of a team these days.
Well, that was kind of where I was going with it, because how in a world where baseball is doing okay right now, but had been kind of dropping off for many, many, many years as a spectator sport, how are you going to generate excitement if people don't have the opportunity to stumble upon it and become a fan of it. Nobody's going to go, that baseball thing looks really neat. Let me pay a couple $100 this season to see if I might like it. No.
And here's the thing, even in person, your families are priced out of
prohibitively expensive for me to go to a Cubs game as a family of 3. Yes, absolutely. I can still go to the White Sox, thank God.
That's not Major League Baseball. But yeah, I remember not even that long ago when I lived out in Colorado, I was able to, and they still do it, get rock pile seats, which are like the super high up seats at Coors Field. And they didn't start selling. You could only buy them at the ticket office. And I think it was like 2 hours before a game, you could start buying them. But even so, like I could go up to the box office for Rockies tickets and get 2 tickets for $30.
Yeah.
And you're not finding that I don't know. This could be an entire rant of...
Yeah, no, baseball is fudged, man. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm watching these Oriole broadcasts, and Jim Palmer's in there talking about their new Truist Club, and it's this ultra-exclusive VIP BS, and you can pay up to $15,000 for a single game ticket that's the best seat in the house. Meanwhile, the stadium's 70% empty. And, guys, what are we doing? We're going whaling? Like, it's just... it's... the wrong way to concentrate. They're going, for the one mega spender instead of a bunch of kids in the stadium who could get excited about baseball.
Yeah.
And how do you get into baseball anymore? Unless you have a parent that's driving you all over the goddamn country in a travel league that you spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on, you have no path to baseball anymore. How are the kids in Baltimore City getting a path to play for the Orioles now? It doesn't exist. And they can't even watch the goddamn games on TV to fucking find out if they like the sport.
This is, I think I mentioned this
how many black Americans are left in MLB? Adam Jones was like the last guy I can think of, for Christ's sake.
There are not many. The number is dwindling more and more and more because you're getting kids are getting priced out of baseball.
It's an exclusive sport. Yeah, it is.
You have to play AAU. You have to play travel ball. You have to sign up for the select elite team. You have to, hire a private hitting coach. You have to get your pitching coach. Then you have to go ahead and pay to go to like the perfect game tryouts and go to these showcases. And you're not going to have...
I'm very sorry, Dad in the lifted truck who's hung over on Saturday morning in the wraparound Oakleys who's sipping from a little something. Little Johnny sucks, and no matter how much money you spend, he's never going to be a major leaguer. And God, I just hate that children's sports have become a primary way to bleed parents of money now.
Yeah, when I lived out in Colorado, I coached high school baseball with my roommate.
You are full of surprises.
I thought you knew that.
I did not. I love it, but I didn't know it.
Oh, so you didn't know? I coached against Walt Weiss the season before he became the Colorado Rockies manager.
What the dude?
Yeah. I coached his son Brody in summer ball.
You are
that
awesome.
Year. Yeah.
This, again, speaks back to how you know a lot more about baseball than me.
But yeah, there was one kid. I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but he was not very good. But I loved that kid because, and we told all of our players, like, if you guys want to hang out after practice, focus on something, like, let us know. Like Kyle, my roommate at the time, and I, like, we lived baseball. Like, we would stay on the field 12 hours a day just hanging out if, someone wanted us there. And the worst kid on the team was the only one. Like, he would take advantage. And I had moved back to New Hampshire, but Kyle was still there. And this kid actually ended up fairly decent. And the league that we played in Colorado, it was like good baseball compared to what I played in New Hampshire. It was like, holy crap. Like, I don't think there was any chance I may have been able to even make varsity on some of these Colorado teams. And of course, maybe I'm sandbagging. But the level of play out there is wild. And I remember I played outfield in high school, pretty good at it. And I was the outfield instructor, and I was working on shagging fly balls with the outfielders and stuff. And I'm like, all right, hit me a ball over my head, track it. The thing that I had in baseball was my speed, my ability to read a ball. Like, that's why I was good at baseball, and no one was going to try harder than me. And so this ball's hit over my head, and I'm tracking it. I'm like, oh, I got this. And it did not connect in my head because I played in New Hampshire my entire life, and you don't really think about playing at altitude.
The air up there.
Yeah, and that ball that I 10 out of 10 times I'd be camped under it, and that thing carried like an extra 25 feet over my head. I do not know. So, of course, I look like an idiot in front of my players, and I'm like, yeah, well, don't do that. Like, you guys I can show you guys what to do, but I'm going to need to readjust what the hell I'm doing here because.
Well, Mile High was the place to hit home runs for a long time, right?
Yeah, and Coors Field before the humidor, which made it. I mean, yeah, those balls flying out of Coors, and they still do. Like, it's wild. But, yeah, so the only way, this is what I was going to mention before, I mentioned many times on the podcast, is the Savannah Bananas. Think what you want about their style of, flashy baseball and, dancing and all this stuff. I personally absolutely love Banana Ball, but like that's the way you're going to get kids into wanting to watch baseball. And maybe that's not going to translate into the actual game, but the Savannah Bananas ticket prices are amazingly
accessible.
Yeah. And it's a lot more so for the home games down in Savannah because when they're traveling around to the minor league stadiums and the major league stadiums, I believe it's still the teams that set the prices. I don't think the Bananas do. So it's a little more prohibitive for those games. But I think it was last week, I had said you go to a Savannah Bananas game and the last $30 to get it per ticket to sit anywhere in the stadium, and that includes all you can eat food and all you can drink drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. And then you could purchase, alcoholic drinks if you wanted that. And I think there was a few like quote unquote premium options when it came to food. But like that is how you get people to love the game again, is make it accessible. Have those rock pile tickets like the Rockies have where you can show up for like $10 to go see a ball game, even if it's in the bleacher seats outfield. Like,
yeah, who cares? Fill the seats.
And John and I from Extra Napkins are actually going to be going to see the Athletics play the Cardinals.
Oh, the minor league stadium.
Which we're both kind of excited to see that, to see some Major League Baseball in a minor league stadium. But, and of course it's the Athletics, so I can't imagine the tickets are going to be, or too many are going to be gone. But I was looking
I
at
don't
the
think you're
tickets
going to be paying
that.
Cubs level prices.
I was looking just for the hell of it at like home plate seats because I was like, maybe if we get close behind home plate, we could get on TV. That'd be. But even like behind the plate, it was $300-$400 a seat, which I'm sorry, but that's I understand it's Major League Baseball, but even so, I'm like, that is so prohibitive to 99% of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess that goes with the whole, like, well, maybe, you have to have, not everyone should have access to everything, which is bullshit. But, yeah.
I'm fine with there being a first class. I just,
right. But
I don't
even the first class
is
becoming prohibitive for.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean is that we've skipped the first class and now there's ultra VIP super edition. Blah, 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 blah. It's all nonsense. All of this ties really well into the movie you assigned me for Backlog Buster Brothers, though, so I can't wait to talk about that.
You know what else it really ties into? Talking about the PlayStation and how the PS5's got a price hike, talking about being prohibitive.
Oh, well, if we're just talking about bullshit, then that definitely fits right in.
But yeah, so I think it was this week the price hike went into effect, I think. So obviously, as we've mentioned before, and as you may be if you are involved in the tech sphere at all, the price of memory, the price of storage is going through the roof.
Yeah,
because our good friends with AI have decided that they're going to purchase absolutely everything for the next.
Well, there's a fold into that story as of yesterday.
What happened yesterday? Did I miss something?
Yeah, well, Google came out and said we've got this new compression technology that's going to free up tons of RAM and da.
Is it Pied Piper?
It's basically all the jokes were like, oh, they cracked middle out from the how many but I don't think that that's going to be as impactful, at least not in the near term, on RAM prices. But Micron and a bunch of other companies came out and said, so those OpenAI contracts weren't actually contracts; they were just letters of intent.
My God.
And they aren't actually buying all of this inventory at all. So yeah, sorry everybody, but we're gonna start moving back towards consumer RAM now. So I mean, the house of cards is tumbling.
I cannot wait for it to die.
Yeah.
Didn't this isn't something that I had written down to talk about. Didn't Disney back out of their deal with Sora or one
Well,
of
they shut. Yeah,
the...
OpenAI, who's doing wonderful, groundbreaking future work for
Yeah.
everyone. The future. It's all bullshit. Yeah, they shut down Sora because it was extremely expensive for them to operate. I think that they lost $5 to $10 on every video generated by paying users, and realized that people will make a couple things, putting Macho Man into Ninja Turtles, and then be like, "Huh, yeah, I can do that." Well, I'm done with that now.
Exactly. Like, what else am I going to do with this? Cool.
Yeah. So this whole future that they're selling obviously was, it was never not bullshit. They're just seeing what sticks to the wall. So they're pivoting to business-centric everything now, which won't work either. But
no. But anyway, it's going back to what I had said. So with the rise in prices, Sony announced price increases for their line of PS5s. So a regular PS5 is going to run you $650. The digital edition is going to run you $600. And if you wanted a PS5 Pro, it's going to cost you $900 American dollars. Like, what are we doing?
A dick!
yeah.
You could build a better gaming PC with used parts.
Oh yeah.
For $900 with buying used components, you would have, I don't know, that
A beast. Well, I don't know how many people are really in the market for a PS5 at this point, especially not the Pro. That was always going to be a niche thing. I have said this before, PS5 may go down as like my least favorite owned console of all time. I just haven't used it a lot, and through its life cycle, Sony have just gotten more and more unfriendly to consumers, to put it bluntly.
Consumer unfriendly.
Yeah, so I don't need you. I don't. And like, I like my PS5. It's great as a 4K Blu-ray player, but it doesn't get a whole lot of gaming action these days because I refuse to pay $80 to $100 for PS Plus when it used to be $35 to $50. Everybody's reaching in your pocket all the time. And yeah, I'm not on board. So they can suck it with this. I don't know who they're trying to appeal to. I know they have manufacturing costs, and costs go up across the board for everyone. But we're in, year 6 of this life cycle, and they're telling me it has to be more expensive?
And they're already talking about the PS6 coming out somewhat soon, despite the fact that, like, how many exclusive games have we had in this generation?
That's my point. That's why PS5 is stupid to me. Like, okay, I've played Ratchet and Clank. That was great. No complaints
Astrobot.
there. And Astrobot. Yep, also great. But other than that, most of the stuff is available on Xbox for half the price usually, or even further down the road, I can get it on a Steam sale for much less. So, I find as I get older, the stuff that I play becomes less and less demanding, honestly.
Well, I mean, you've obviously, you're really big into the emulation scene and, playing stuff on handhelds and even PC stuff. So, like, you're probably playing stuff that more or less, and not exclusively, but you can play on a potato, really. Like, the older stuff, the indie, it's not taxing stuff for the most part.
Yeah, I remember I had the Atari VCS.
I forgot you got that.
Yeah, on its own, it was kind of, what are you really going to do with this thing? But I bought it for $100, and I installed Bazite on it just to run Steam off of it. And people were like, what the hell are you going to run on that thing? That's a potato. I'm like, well, the stuff that I play runs great on potatoes, to be honest.
Exactly. I just had someone...
What the Golf with my kid and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's stuff, and I mean, I think we were talking with some people... probably on the Extra Napkins Discord server, about like a 1080 is more than enough still. Like, that's going to play a majority of the things that you want to play.
Somewhere around 2017-ish, we got out of optimizing software entirely, and it was just like, hey, we're just going to brute force everything because we don't have to worry about writing efficient code anymore. We can just brute force the living shit out of it. So all of the gains that we've made in hardware, I don't feel like we've felt.
No,
Because software
you're exactly right.
implementation is just totally sloppy these days, and it's only going to get more so as we vibe code our way out of existence.
I don't. That was just.
That was a good reaction. I'm going to save that as a clip.
That was just. That just happened. Like, that wasn't forced. That voice just came out of me hearing that. But hey, the great thing is, did you know, despite the fact that, it's also become $50 more expensive, our favorite gaming system, the Next Go, did you know that you can buy that with your HSA now?
The Kinect family console thing?
Yeah,
you can buy
the
with your health
PS2,
savings
PlayStation
account?
Eye Connect. You can
So
buy that.
they've convinced insurance companies that it's a way to get people to exercise or something? That's great.
I don't know. So the Next Playground, and I'm sorry. The Next Playground is what it's called. But you and I were talking about this the other day, I think.
Yeah, slim skinny of it. It's a Kinect type experience with popular licensed kids properties like Sesame Street and Bluey, and it's a subscription service forever.
Yeah. So what we were saying the other day is, doesn't this kind of open, like, this starts a slippery slope, which, if we're being honest, I am perfectly happy with going down. But if you can use your HSA to buy this video game system because it has you can exercise with it, you can play fitness games, why can't I use my HSA to buy an
Ring
Oculus
Fit
headset?
package.
Why can't I use it to buy a Ring Fit? Why can't I use it to buy the PlayStation VR? Why, why not?
VR is a really good example, actually, because
Beat Saber, those boxing games.
Beat Saber, but I did Yourself Fitness for a long time, doing the boxing and interval training stuff, and that's a legitimate workout.
100%. I did Beat Saber when I was trying to get back into shape, and that thing kicked my butt. So if you're playing it right, ooh.
I think we should make this our mission. See if we can get health insurance to accept a Switch 2 purchase.
It's like, why? I need to do a little more research, and who knows? I shouldn't say this with 100% fact, which it should be because they're advertising it. Mm-hmm. But so I just saw the advertisement that said, you can now purchase this with your FSA, HSA. But why? Like, it dumbfounds me to see that. And like, I've said this many times in my various places of social media, but I've said that, you should be able to use your HSA funds for your hobbies, because mental health is health. And if it's something that's going to make you feel like you're in a better place mentally, why shouldn't you be able to use something that's specifically set aside for your health? And of course, that's a little bit like,
no, I know exactly what you mean.
I
I drag my feet going to pinball because it's the way I am, but then every time afterwards, I'm like, I'm really glad I went. That was nice to see those people and play and talk.
Yeah,
So
I
should be able to use. I should be able to use HSA for tournament drop.
Why not? I mean, it's
yeah.
hand-eye coordination. You can't say it's not exercise. I mean, it's not as like physical as going in boxing. But
hey, man, you get a score going, your heart rate jumps.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, when I'm doing stuff like that, and because I wear a fitness watch for running and everything, and I'll go back and look at my heart rate and be like, oh yeah, that's definitely when I got a double tilt warning.
Yeah, when I was going on a run a couple weeks ago before the tournament, I had a really good game, and it's that pinball feeling where it's like, oh, I made adrenaline come out. So I step away from the machine, my hands are shaking. It's great.
Yeah, obviously you remember last Really Rad Weekend when we were playing in that gauntlet tournament. Like, I could feel the just like adrenaline after I'd finished that run. And I was like, holy crap. Like
on the relay race? Oh yeah. If that didn't get you going, nothing will. That was awesome.
My pupils must have been just pinpricks with the way that I was feeling after that. But so I think that leads us. Well, you know what? I'm going to retroactively say this because I think it works, and we didn't have one yet. I'm going to say Sony's my chump of the week for this. I know it's not a great chump of the week, really. And I understand the rising cost of components and stuff, but you know what? Sony can suck it.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that.
And you are my chump of the week.
Chump.
Chumps.
So This
Is it
normally
everybody's
the
favorite time?
Yeah, this is normally the time when Nick's going to take a break to go pee, but apparently that coffee ran a little bit fast. So why don't we just go transition right into Backlog Buster Brothers?
Do 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 do. I did my homework this week, Wyatt.
You did?
I did. Aren't you proud of me?
I am proud of you because I thought this was going to be some pretty damn fun homework too.
It was extremely fun homework. I'm gonna jump right into, I think, my first assignment, which goes back 2 weeks, was Cult of the Lamb.
Yes.
A game I'm playing. Yeah, I'm playing on Nintendo Switch, which was kindly purchased on a sale by my co-host and sent to me because he's the greatest dude ever.
What a good guy.
He is. So, Cult of the Lamb, for anybody that's not familiar, I wasn't, is a top-down, cartoonish style, procedurally generated game that somehow balances Zelda-like combat and RPG elements with a farm sim. Is that fair? I assume you've played this.
Yeah, no, I have played. I haven't played since the update. I played it when it first came out, but yeah, no, it's pretty fair. It's almost like a Stardew Valley mixed with. I mean, really, just almost like a dark Stardew Valley.
Yeah, so you assigned me Stardew Valley, and I liked Stardew Valley, and I have dipped back into Stardew Valley and checked up on my farm and done errands and all that kind of stuff. I was expecting this, for whatever reason, to play as like a Binding of Isaac game. So like a procedurally generated dungeon crawler. That's what I thought it was. That's probably why it was in my backlog too. I was like, okay, I know what it is. I'll get to it eventually. It's not that.
No.
So the whole loop in the game is you do dungeon runs to rescue followers and then bring them into the fold of your cult.
Mm-hmm.
And basically all of the strength of your character and farm and everything is tied to the following that you have. And they pray before you, and you gain bits of experience basically off of their faith. But in between going out and getting new people for your cult, you have to manage your cult, which is the part I definitely wasn't expecting at all, and is hilarious. So you got to feed your cult. So you got to farm food and figure out a way to feed them. Early on, you haven't farmed anything yet. What do? Here's some grass stew that I made, and they get really pissed off, and then you have to make them happy. They don't have an outhouse.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, no, it is. You're basically running like 15 Tamagotchis all at once. You have to give them sleeping bags or tents to sleep in. They eventually need bathrooms. Otherwise, they'll just poop out in the field and get sick. Some of them lose faith and start yelling at you, at which point you can try and re-indoctrinate them or just kill them.
You can smite them.
Yeah. So this game has a very twisted sense of humor. And yeah, one of my followers who had grown old started to become disillusioned with my cult and threatened that he was going to tell everybody that it was all bullshit. So I told him to calm down and go get himself something to eat. But I fed him a death bowl that killed him immediately. And then I chopped him up and fed his meat to my followers.
God, you're evil.
And it raised all of their faith. It was brilliant. Religion simulator.
So you're saying you enjoyed it?
I love this game. It has such a twisted, sick sense of humor while also being like wildly cutesy art style. I love everything about this game. I will run this into the ground beating it. I'm on day 36, so I don't know what my hour count is like, but safe to say I've been playing this every night this week.
I'm happy because you hadn't mentioned it at all, and I didn't really want to ask because sometimes it's kind of fun to just get the lowdown when we talk about it. So I'm glad you actually liked it.
You didn't want to be disappointed and have to give me shit because I hadn't done my homework.
Well, I trusted you.
No, I mean, this is one of the happiest moments in backlog busting that we've done so far. This is one that really just lands right in my happy zone. And I could see doing more runs of this after I beat it, just because you can kind of play it any way you want.
Yeah. There's a lot of replayability in this game.
Yeah, so highly recommended if you like, combat, cult sim, farming games that are funny as hell.
ActRaiser.
With a, little smidge of demonic possession. But that brings us, I can go into last week's assignment.
Yes, please do. I want to hear your takes on this.
So, after our little foray into the suckness of MLB as an organization, Wyatt had assigned me a wonderful movie. It's a documentary called The Battered Bastards of Baseball. And, I didn't look when this came out.
2014, I believe.
Oh, okay, so it's got some years on it.
Yep.
So The Battered Bastards of Baseball centers around the story of Kurt Russell's dad, and Kurt Russell for that matter. Everybody knows Kurt Russell. People our age might not be as familiar with his dad, Bing Russell. And Bing Russell basically had the ultimate dream childhood of any kid in the 50s. He basically got to just hang out with Murderers Row.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
Yep.
He was just a kid growing up with the Yankees. Which obviously translated into a lifelong love of baseball. He himself did not progress as a player and went out and became an actor in Hollywood and found a lot of success in the Western genres and things like that. But the story kind of opens in the movie with Bing reaching somewhere in middle age. I think we're meant to believe he's probably in his early to mid 50s at this time. And he's kind of made his money and has the place in Hollywood, and his kids are growing up, and he's kind of slowed down working, and everybody's complaining that he's just like laying by the pool all day. So what he ends up doing is, after the Portland Beavers AA team or AAA team pulled out of Portland due to low attendance and ratings, he decided that he was going to field the first independent baseball team back in the MLB farm system, and created the Portland Mavericks, kind of as, well, the Battered Bastards of Baseball, as it were. The island of misfit toys of players. Kind of all the guys that for one reason or another didn't fit into the MLB system. They were overlooked. They were said to have some sort of hang-up that disqualified them as a player, that would progress in MLB. Any myriad of things. Will take you. Those guys don't want you. We'll take you. If you love baseball, come play for us. And yeah, this movie just captured everything I love about baseball.
I knew you would like it. I knew you would like this documentary.
Well, you have me over here.
So good.
Before I've seen this, I'm yelling about baseball should have a relegation system so anybody could possibly win.
Yep.
This movie only hardened my stance on that.
Yep.
And after they enter the league and are playing these farm teams from major league systems and are beating the shit out of them, MLB goes and screws them over when they're on the way to win a pennant by sending a bunch of major league players down.
That was such horseshit. That made me, even talking about it now, still makes me so mad.
Can you be any more of a small man that you would do something like that? I mean, it's just so pathetic. And long story short, MLB sent them out of Portland. He's like, "Oh, you've done something successful here. We're bringing the Beavers back." And I'm happy for him. He said, "You're not going to pay me the $5,000 franchise fee or anything." He took him to court and got $206,000, I think, which was a lot of money at the time, and the most anybody had ever paid for a baseball territory. But so many firsts there too. It was like the first Asian American manager in a major professional baseball organization.
First female general manager.
Yep, you had that. You had the guy that had played in World Series.
Jim Bouton.
His name. He was like 39 years old. Came back. Nobody knew what his stuff would be, and he's like just throwing smoke. Young Kurt Russell, pre-Hollywood, when he was thinking about just becoming a ball player. There are so many little human stories in this that make up everything wonderful about sports and baseball. before it gets ruined by a bunch of money assholes.
One of the cool things that I thought is Bing also, he kept a 30-man roster instead of a 25-man roster because he wanted some of the older players that either aged out of the MLB or even maybe weren't going to make it to the MLB. He wanted them to have one more season. So he carried a 30-man roster so they could play. Like,
yeah, there's a great, I think there's a female pastor in this who's obsessed, obviously, with baseball, and she talks about people, baseball people, and how the vast majority of people that are baseball people don't give a shit about baseball.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of love for the game left in the MLB business. Because that's what it is. It's a business.
Because it's a business,
money. Yeah. And when you look at a modern team like the Dodgers, it's like, what is this thing that we love become? So yeah, this just embodied everything that I still love about baseball. It has only hardened my resolve that anybody should be able to field a team, and if they can play, they can play. It makes me happy that his work has led to the resurgence of indie baseball. I'm surrounded by it and plan to spend the summer watching as much of it as I can in Frontier League games and stuff like that. Yeah, you got these Chicago Dogs, you got your Schaumburg Boomers, it's everywhere all over the state. I live in baseball land. So bring it on. Battered Bastards of Baseball. If you haven't seen it and you like baseball, go watch it right now. Unbelievably good movie, and thank you so much for assigning it to me.
I said I was going to watch it with you this week, and I just didn't get around to it. But I 100%, especially after hearing you talking about it again, I'm like, I got to watch this again.
Oh, I almost forgot too. Two of the guys from this legendary squad did the world a favor, and when the Mavericks folded, they put their personal invention to good use and gave the world Big League Chew.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
You don't get more awesome than that.
I need to watch that. Yeah, Jim Bouton, which this is a different, I guess, not an assignment, but Jim Bouton he's most famous, I think, for writing the book Ball 4. I don't know if you've heard of that at all.
They touch on that in the movies.
They did talk,
yeah, it was like the first expose behind the scenes.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble
baseball,
for that.
and he got banned, basically.
He got blackballed because of that. But if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend checking that out. There's also a TV show, I think, for one season. I haven't looked in a while, but I have not been able to find the show anywhere. I'm just curious because I'd love to see it. But
a TV show version of the Battered Bastards of
Baseball? No, of Ball 4.
Oh, okay.
The book that he wrote.
Oh, we can try and hunt that down.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere. I think there were. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There were 7 episodes, and 2 of them never aired.
What was it broadcast on, or streamed on, or what have you?
It was broadcast on CBS back in 1976.
Wow. Okay. Well, the internet exists. The archive is out there. We can dig.
Yeah, we'll find it. But yeah. So you also assigned me a baseball documentary.
Baseball.
Yeah, man. If you don't like baseball, hopefully you're probably just fast forwarding to the end to see if you won the hand. But you know what? This is fun for us. So maybe someday we'll do a spin-off podcast of baseball and we can focus on more tech stuff here. But we don't have it yet, so we're just gonna roll.
Correct.
So you assigned me just a bit outside the story of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, another kind of ragtag group of outsiders.
Yeah, and God, it was I could listen to former major league players talk about the glory days, because you could tell the guys from this 82 team that were interviewed, like you were just talking about, like they love baseball.
Yeah,
they love the game, and just hearing them talk, being able to remember what happened 40 plus, or I get when this came out 2024. Yeah, so like 40 plus years ago, they're remembering some of this stuff that had happened, and I'm sure they showed them video to get some recollection and stuff. But
they've also relived it over the last 40 years themselves,
yeah,
I'm sure.
So the idea, it's about the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers. So the Brewers became a franchise, I believe, in the mid to late 70s. I can't remember. They weren't very good to begin with, and they say Robin Yount.
They were an expansion team, right?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Bud Selig, former MLB commissioner, was he was actually a very beloved owner, but very commissioner. But to be fair, I can't really think of a sports commissioner that anyone likes. Adam Silver's probably the closest.
It struck me when watching this that it's like, wow, Bud Selig seems like such a normal, nice guy.
He was personable. Yeah.
Everybody's ever told me in baseball is that I should hate this man.
Yeah, and I guess that comes with the territory when because I mean the commissioners work for the owners, so I guess that's kind of the amalgamation of everything wrong with sports. But yeah, hearing Robin Yount, who the Hall of Fame shortstop, talk about like the Milwaukee Brewers are so bad that's probably the only reason why. Like he was not MLB ready, he was Milwaukee Brewers ready to play shortstop at 18 years old.
That's how old was he? He was young.
Yeah, that's why his nickname was the Kid. But seeing Paul Molitor, who, oh my God, how old is he? Like he still looks young, and he's got to be 70.
Oh, Robin Yount looks great.
He's 69. Yeah, Robin Yount. I think is about 70. Yeah, either way, these guys are all in their 70s. Maybe someone might be in their 80s at this point. Yeah, Raleigh Fingers is 79.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, there are pictures of him on the red carpet of the premiere. He's using a walker and stuff, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, he goes to every year that I go to Cooperstown to go to the Hall of Fame Classic. He's there because he's from Cooperstown, so he shows up every year for it. And yeah, seeing him year after year is like, oh, he's getting older. But yeah, just watching these guys talk about the quick over. Fairly bad team. The 1981, they played against Knicks Orioles, I believe, for the chance to go to the World Series, and were not able to pull it off. So their expectations for 82 were sky high, and the team just kind of fell flat. They were a group of veterans. They'd been around for a while. They just wanted to play baseball. Fun. Their manager at the time, he had his hand in a lot of stuff, I guess. He wanted to manage the team, whereas the players just wanted to play ball. So the team came out, they stumbled through, I think, June or so, and then he got fired, and they brought in Harvey Keene. And I loved the depiction of him. So he apparently lost one of his legs to diabetes, and he, instead of wearing like a prosthetic, he was wearing a peg leg.
Yep.
And they were all sitting in the locker room waiting for their new manager to come in. You just hear the clomp of a peg walking
coming down the hallway.
Yeah. So they're all sitting there wondering like, oh, what's going to happen? And he was already before this, so they knew who he was. But he had been promoted to manager, and he comes in and he basically just says, we need to have a meeting, and I want to tell you, just have 2 rules. And of course I'm going to butcher it because I can't remember what they were, but he essentially says, I hate meetings, and then just ended the meeting and walked away.
Yep, and this is the end of the meeting.
Yeah. I have 2 things to tell you, or 2 rules in this team. I hate meetings, and like this is the end of the meeting. And then he clomps away on his peg leg, and the team absolutely loved him for that. They
caught fire.
Yeah, they rallied behind him because they just went out and had fun. They would spend nights at Harvey. Apparently, him and his wife owned a hotel there in Milwaukee. They'd go play games.
And then all drink at his bar.
Yep, they drink at the bar. They'd eat steak. They'd just hang out, and they just ran the table. Went to the World Series. They came to the end of the season, and I guess this is more of a recap, so I'm not going to give the whole thing, but essentially it's just going through the
documentary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
But some people may not know about the 1982 Brewers. But basically, they go through a lot of trials and tribulations heading into the end of the season and going through the playoffs. And just hearing Bob Uecker talk, hearing, Pete Vukovich.
Vukovich, yeah. Gorman Thomas was great too. I loved him.
Gorman Thomas seems like someone that I probably wouldn't agree with a lot in life just by the way he looks right now. But hearing him talk baseball was great. Just all of these guys, Cecil Cooper. But
oh yeah,
Vukovich,
Yukovic and Gorman Thomas both look like they've continued enjoying themselves a few pops after their playing days, but yeah, they're still with us, and they're just a little puffier and pinker than they used to be, but, nice guys.
Yeah, it just seeing what Vukovic went through, I think he won the Cy Young that year, but going into the end of the season, I think he said he had a torn rotator cuff. And he
pitched a game with a torn rotator cuff.
He pitched the playoffs with a torn rotator cuff.
That's insanity.
He knew he had nothing left, but because he was a pitcher, and basically how Greg Maddux became so good is you don't have to have overpowering stuff. You just need to know where to put the ball where it's going to do the least amount of damage. And
I don't want to ever hear shit about a bloody sock ever again if this dude pitched a game with a torn rotator cuff.
And I understand, and looking at the game today, and I can see both sides. Like looking at the game today, it's like, okay, baseball isn't my life. Like I want to be able to, pick up my kids after I retire and stuff. I totally understand and appreciate that. But then also just seeing these gamers essentially, like Vukovic, they talked about it. Like he threw away the rest of his career because he wanted that World Series so bad. Like just seeing how much these guys cared about it, and seeing, spoiler alert, they lose the series to the St. Louis Cardinals in a very heartbreaking fashion, and seeing the city of Milwaukee still show up for that team.
That was one of the coolest moments of the movie.
Bud Selig was told that, hey, we want to put on a small parade or whatever. And Selig's like, why? We lost. Like, there's nothing to celebrate. Nobody's going to go to this.
Well, I think all the players are like, it's going to be really awkward because it's going to be like, sorry, everybody, to the
we failed
500 people that show up or something. And then the entire city of Milwaukee came to honor them.
Seeing the video of the streets of Milwaukee, like it had to have been almost every single person in that city showed up for their World Series losing team to show them the support. And then they were talking about the players, they drive through all this stuff and then they show up at the stadium, and then the stadium is jam packed with people. Like that team in that city just, it would have been too good to be true for them to have brought that home.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it because as much as they wanted to win, they didn't necessarily expect to win in any way. So that's what was really nice. I mean, they talk about, I think it's coming out of, I don't recall if they won a division title or a wild card. Well, the wild card didn't exist.
No wild card then.
Yeah. So they won a division title and pretty much went straight into the first game of the playoffs, but they got so shit-faced after winning the division title that they played game one horrifically hungover.
Yeah, because they had to fly directly to California, I think, the next day to play in the game.
I love it. That is hilarious to me.
Yeah,
it's like nobody expected us to get this far, so might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, well, the Brewers, I guess backtracking, the Brewers were running away with the division. They were going to waltz into the playoffs, and they just needed to win one game out of three, I believe. Against
and it ends up coming down
Orioles.
to it.
Yep, and they blow the first two games bad. And I believe it was Robin Yount that were talking. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, we were playing so tight. And I think it was that night too. I think they finished off a fifth of Jack, they had said, and then came in because they were used to playing. They're used to having fun, and then they weren't having fun. So he's like, we're either going to make it or we're not. So let's go do what got us here.
Let's catch a buzz.
Yeah. And you know what? It surely worked for him.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, if you have a rainy day and you just want to watch some baseball, if you could back to back these two documentaries and have a hell of an afternoon.
I think this is a great reminder of why you may have fallen in love with baseball is contained in both of these movies. And that's what I adored about both of them.
I just want to talk about baseball forever now. But anyway, we'll move on because I think we're actually closing in on 2 hours on this episode.
Hey-o!
So let's quickly get into our assignments, and then we'll do what I'm sure.
We have a giveaway to do.
Our giveaway. So Nick and I, let's pull the curtain back a little bit. We discussed what our assignments are going to be this time. Sometimes we don't, but this time we decided after having the Steam sale and picking up some games that, we probably did not need to add to our backlog. We
Correct.
decided, why not? We both picked up the same game. Neither of us have played it. Well, why don't we both just play it?
Let's actually experience one of these games that we bought for a few bucks during a Steam sale before it just gets put away forever and forgotten about.
And that may happen with this game. This may be a game that we put 3 to 5 hours in, not because it's bad, but because we go, okay, cool, we've played it. But
that's 3 to 5 hours that I probably wouldn't have gotten out of it
Exactly.
otherwise. So totally good with it. What are we playing, Wyatt?
We are playing the oh gosh, I had this pulled up and then I started looking at baseball. We're playing Basketball Classic. It's a game, it's out on Steam, it's out on Switch, it's out on PlayStation, and probably Xbox. It's a 2019 game, I think. It came
You
out.
were familiar
And
with this. I was not.
Yes. I knew about it. I guess I knew about it and didn't realize I knew it. So our friend of the show, co-host of Extra Napkins, also co-host of the Completely Unnecessary podcast, Ian, he's actually in this game. And I remember after telling him about this, he was like, oh yeah, that's the game I'm in. And I remember him talking before it came out. So it's essentially like a modern double dribble, kind of, with like just teams from over the decades. I don't think there are any names, but the likenesses are kind of there. So you can play like the 95 Spurs and you're like, oh, that kind of looks like
Yeah, so it has a bunch of rosters without attaching the names.
Yeah.
So I got
'Cause
the
obviously there's
impression
no
if I wanted
licenses.
to play the Jordan Pippen Bulls, it would probably be there just without those names attached to
Yeah.
it, kind of thing.
but you'd kind of be able to tell.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
the first thing that drew me in, and you already mentioned it, was it looks really similar to Double Dribble for the NES, which is one of my favorite basketball games ever.
Yeah, it has the cool
Little cut
good
scenes
job,
when
Wyatt.
you dunk and stuff.
the dunk cut scenes where you can use the D-pad to do different dunks and
Yeah, that part looks really cool because you didn't have that option in Double Dribble.
No.
So you can
So
customize the cutscenes.
the things that I really enjoyed when I was looking at this, and I think it was $3, $4. It's a throwback to 8-bit video games, and one of the things that they have listed for like the features of the game: no virtual currency, no pay to win, no microtransactions, 3-button gameplay. There's decades of rosters with over 175 teams, 1,000 different players with individualized attributes. There's a one-player story mode where you can unlock secret teams, and that's where our friend Ian is. He actually is on one of the secret teams that you can unlock, which
cool.
he had said. He was saying when we were talking that he said if he was going to be in the video game, he wanted to have the stats in the game.
The worst stats in the game?
Yeah. He said,
Oh.
if I'm going to be in the game, I want you to give me the stats in the game. So I look forward to unlocking him and playing as Ian.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
so I got to close out on some lamb cultiness to move on to this one ASAP. But
Yeah.
I'm in, man. Let's do
We
it.
could probably, I'm not going to say we're going to play this game together because we never had a chance to play, but there's a chance that we could.
Yeah, I'll go with that. There's a chance that we could.
All right, so let's get into
You know what time it is?
finishing it up, and let me put this up because I'm going to have you recording.
Oh yeah.
This week, or this giveaway, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries. So chances are pretty good if you left us a review and sent it to us. So let me
right.
share my screen with you, Nick.
Yep, I'm camera ready, man.
And I got this up. And can you see that?
No.
No.
Oh wait, hang on. I have to click watch stream because I'm a moron. Yep, there we go. I see it. Ready when you are. I'm recording.
All right. And away we go.
Spinny, spinny, spinnies. Oh! Congratulations,
Who's our winner, Nick?
Brandon, you are the brand new recipient of an R36T emulation handheld. And if you get in touch with either Wyatt or myself and provide us a place to send it, we will ship it on out to you. And I don't know if we're going to do another one of these next week or the week after, but I have backlogged Mr. Wyatt with handhelds. So I'll leave it in his court. But congratulations to Brandon.
Yeah, good job, Brandon. Brandon was, I think, one of the first people to listen to our show. So look at that. It pays off to listen and leave us a review. Preferably a good one, but, we're not going to beg you for it.
I don't need a good one. That's fine. You can be honest.
You can say it sucks.
Yeah. Drags on for a while, and they talk about the same shit every week, but it's okay.
Wyatt forgets that he mentioned something 4 weeks in a row and brings it up again, but you know what? There's some charm there somewhere.
All right. Well, then I am very excited about my new assignments. I'm very excited for our giveaway winner, and I shall be excited to get back with you next week to discuss all of the things that we've done.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone joining us, as they always do, live. Well, it won't be live when you listen to this, but right now I'm live from Capital Pinball in Concord, New Hampshire. Come down and visit us if you want to play some pinball or play some video games. And,
Hell yeah.
Leave us a review if you'd like to. Tell your friends about us. Tell your enemies about us. Lock your friends in a room.
Yet.
No.
Force them to listen to it.
Yeah, lock your friends in the room. Toss this on. Make them all play it separately on their phone so we get those streams. And
play it muted on your computer for all I care.
Have some fun with it. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. I'm Wyatt. That is Nick. We will talk to you next week.
Love you guys. Talk to you soon.